So first of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to get my polymer clay out. So I'm going to start off with my purple. And what I'm going to do is, obviously they say that when you put your heat onto the polymer clay, it softens it. So I'm just going to roll it and rub it down like this as demonstrated, and basically just get it to its texture of what I want. And basically we are going to roll it not too thin, but thinner than usual, because this is how we're going to make that shape. So if you just bear with me while I do this, I'm just going to grab some off, because we are going to make a few of these. It's not just going to be the one. So we are going to make it like this. It doesn't matter how long you make it. What matters is it's long enough for you to make it, basically. Then we're going to roll it, last but least here. But we must have every single one the same length as each other. So now we're going to work on the yellow. So we're going to do purple, yellow of the same thing routinely. It doesn't have to always be the same length, as long as it's either shorter, not longer than the original one, because we don't have a lot of the yellow. And it's because we're not going to make a lot of, obviously you need more of one of the colors rather than the rest. And also we're going to make the yellow one slightly more thinner than the original purple, because there's obviously that reason too. You can see on these that the blue is a lot more of a thicker layer than some of the light blue. Sorry, the dark blue is more thicker than some of the light blue on here. So that's the sort of illusion that we're going to try and make here. Right, so I've got this, and what we do is we are going to attach these together. Make sure that they are literally right on spec, right from, and then just dab it down. Just make sure that there's no basically exposed areas in between them, because if there is, then those are going to come up in your pendants. But just bear in mind, if that's the illusion you're going for, if you do want your pendants to have a hole in it, then go for it, because a lot of people do tend to do different types of pendants there. Right, now we're off to the purple again, doing the same thing. This is really therapeutic as well. I mean, I love doing therapeutic, satisfying videos as well. You can check out my latest video that I have done, and it's actually clay cracking sounds from soft clay, and I really enjoyed doing that video because of the sounds. It's really relaxing, and obviously everyone has got a different preference. Some people might not like the noise, but I actually do tend to enjoy that type of noises. So now we are just preparing all of these. It might look like it's not that great at the moment, but eventually you will see what I am going to create in just a sec once I roll all of these out. So starting to look like a nice pattern there as well. You can use any color you like, any color that you fancy. If you have an outfit and you want a specific color, go for it. If you're wearing a pair of jeans with a pink top and you want your jewelry to be matching, perhaps you could go for a nice, either depending on a jeans color, either a light blue or a navy blue, and then add a bit of pink into it. Sort of similar to my design here, but this was done more with orange, but you can have your own creation then. And obviously you will have a lot of heads turning, asking you where you might have received or bought these from, and for you to turn around and say, I made them myself and they didn't even take that long, literally not even an hour of my day, depending on how fast you are, then a lot of people may be surprised and maybe even asking you to make them one as well, or a few. But now we are going to be on the final one now. As you might have seen in my previous videos, I haven't ever done a vocal demonstration tutorial. I've just done my videos. This is the first time you may hear me speak. Yes, I am no robot. I am a human being. Yes, so this is nearly done. Right, so we place all of these together. My favorite part is going to come up in just a sec, which I will explain to you. This is the last piece, which is going to be the purple. Right, so we are rolling this out. You're going to need a rolling pin as well for this part, this next part, because I'll show you what we're going to do next. So we have this here, and that's basically it. Make sure they're literally in contact, all of them. It doesn't matter if you've got squiggly, it's not dead straight. I'll tell you the reasons for that in just a sec. So now we have all of ours together, as you can see, like this. Beautiful. But it's going to get trickier than this. So what we do is we're going to use a rolling pin. We're going to flatten out, not too hard because we don't want it sticking down on the table, but we'll basically squish that down there, and then probably not looking like what it's supposed to, and I will explain to you why in just a sec. So once you've flattened it down, it doesn't really matter whether it's fully flattened or not, because we are going to re-flatten it again with our rolling pin. So now we have this here, and what we're going to do is we're going to start twisting. Now twisting is going to make that illusion that we're looking for. So just start twisting away. And then we start twisting again. Right, and one last time. Just stick it all together like that. There we are. And then we are going to basically, can you see where this is going? Because I've only used a little bit of clay, I've done this on purpose because I wasn't going to create my stars or my heart shape as well. I will do that in another tutorial because we are going to need a lot more clay there. But can you see that creation of art that we can see here now? So we are going to make it as thick as we want, so it doesn't have to be quite fine, but then it doesn't have to be thick either. It all varies. So now we have this here, which reminds me of a leopard in a way. What we do is I'm going to use my big piece first, which is for my pendant. And what I do is I will put it to a side because I've got to remember I'm going to use the other bits for the earrings. Really push down on it. Move the excess from around. As you can see, voila, you have your shape there. There we are. And then we're going to make our circular just so we can get rid of everything all at once. So we've got one circle here and another circle. You can choose which one you prefer, which area. You can choose there, right? And then we are going to get rid of all of this excess here. I usually tend to leave these for when I'm going to do big sculpturing. You usually use this for the frame of your model, so you don't use up all your colors. So I'll be keeping that to a side. Now, as you can see, it does get a bit stiff there, but don't worry, because we will neaten that out in just a sec. With our hands, just start patting away and making sure that you get all the edges. There we are. And then the back as well. You can choose whether you want the front or back, but it doesn't matter for now because these need to actually be baking. So we roll them to give them that circular effect. And then we will obviously pierce the hole in wherever we want, however we want. So just be careful of your hands. You can either put this down and do it. I prefer to have it upright. So we will find our hole, carefully pierce through without hurting ourselves, and then just encourage a bigger hole. Now we need obviously it to be right at the edge depending on our earring, but if you're going to use earrings with a stick, then a pin, then what you would tend to do is obviously put that on after on the back. So there's one there. I'm going to just place it on some foil because what I tend to do is bake it on the foil. You can use baking paper, whatever you prefer. Right, so we are doing our second one now. That's a beautiful colour at the back. I really like that. And then we are going to get that all on there, ready to clay it down. And then we're going to pop a hole in there too. Right, there we go. I tend to do quite a big hole so I can really put my clays into use, and it'll be not so difficult when I'm going to try and put the earrings on as well. Obviously for your pendant, your necklace, or you can even make 2 holes here and make this for your wrist. It's entirely up to yourself, but this one originally is going to be for a pendant. Just trying to discover where I might put the hole. There we are. I will put the hole here as so. make sure that it has a big enough hole there, and then there we are. Pop it on some foil, and there we are. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video.